Good morning, friends. A very warm welcome to you all. Welcome back to my channel Cool School, where I provide you with all the explanation and solutions to the English concepts. Today, we will talk about a new concept, that is degrees of comparison. So, before we begin, we must understand what is a degree of comparison and why do we use it. So, degrees of comparison are used when we describe a person or a thing. The adjectives make the comparison, and you should remember that adjectives are the describing words. For example, there are some words like fast, slow, big, and small. And when we read these words, we understand that these words are in their basic forms, that is their positive degree. So the first degree of comparison is the positive degree. So positive comparison is used when we only describe one person or thing. Let's take an example here, like the house is big, or the boy is fast on his bicycle. That girl is smart. The radio was loud. So when we listen to all these sentences, we quickly understand that the words that we used were all in their basic form, or we also call them as in their root forms. So positive degree always uses the words in their root form or the basic form. Next, we will talk about the comparative degree, the second degree of comparison. So comparative degree is used when we compare two people or things to each other. Let's see what is the rule that we follow. The first rule is we add er to the adjective. So in order to make fast change into its comparative form, we just add er and it becomes faster. The same way slow becomes slower, big becomes bigger, small becomes smaller, tall becomes taller. You can also see there is an example of two boys standing. The little one says, I am tall, but he is taller. So he is making a comparison between them. Let's see some examples. The house is big, but my house is bigger. The boy is fast on his bicycle, but I am faster. The radio was loud, but the TV was louder. So let's see some more examples. Now these words that you can see on the screen end with FUL or E. So this is the second rule when we make the change from positive to comparative degree, that adjectives that end in full or E, we use more. In order to change the words into their comparative forms, more is used. So painful becomes more painful, hopeful becomes more hopeful, beautiful becomes more beautiful, whereas expensive becomes more expensive. Now, there are some exceptions to this rule. There are some irregular words which do not follow these rules. Such words cannot be changed by adding er or adding more. Instead, the word completely changes. So, in order to change good into its comparative state, it becomes better. Bad becomes worse. Many or much becomes more. Little or few becomes less. And far or farther becomes farther or further. Old becomes older or elder. Now, after this, the last but the most important degree of comparison, that is the superlative degree. So superlative degree is used when comparing more than two people or things. Now here the rule again remains the same, but we add est to the adjective in order to change it into its superlative form. So fast becomes fastest, slow becomes slowest, big becomes biggest, small becomes smallest, tall becomes tallest, and short becomes shortest. Let's see some examples. He was the fastest in the bicycle race. She was the smartest girl in the class. The biggest house on the block was for sale. The slowest computer in the class belonged to Miss Brockway. Superman was the strongest and fastest of all the superheroes, but Spider-Man was the most flexible. So again, there is a rule for the superlative degree as well. We have talked about how we change the normal words into their superlative state, but the words that end with FUL and E again follow the same type of rule, and we add most in order to change them into their superlative state. So, painful becomes most painful, hopeful becomes most hopeful, beautiful becomes most beautiful, and flexible becomes most flexible. So, just to summarize, the adjectives that end in FUL or E, we use most in order to change them to their superlative degree. Now again, there are some exceptions to the rule. Good changes to best in the superlative form. Bad changes to worst in the superlative form. Many and much changes to most. Little and few changes to least. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed the concept and understood it well. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel Cool School and get the latest notifications whenever I post a video. Thank you.